Hey guys, it's Got Bars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 347th episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So today I wanted to bring up the veteran MC Masta Ace, who first made his appearance on the page as a solo artist all the way back in my initial set of 2000s classics, when I covered his 2001 LP Disposable Arts. And while I haven't yet gotten to the equally conceptual 2004 follow-up, A Long Hot Summer, it definitely will get a slot on the channel at some point in the future. I'd also eventually like to cover his 2012 M.A. Doom Son of Yvonne album, where the legend raps over an iconic set of MF Doom instrumentals. But today we're discussing a project that came through his old group, Masta Ace Incorporated, which included Lord Digga, Lachey, Paula Perry, IC, and Unique, and they too have shown up once before on the page when I talked about the collective's 1993 debut, Slaughterhouse. And I'll link that review down below in the description because in it I discuss the crew and their background a bit further. While, as I said in that video, the first album is my personal favorite out of the two that Masta Ace Inc. put out, their 1995 sophomore LP, Sittin' on Chrome, is just as dope in virtually every way, and I'm sure a good amount of fans actually prefer it to Slaughterhouse, which is an opinion I completely understand and respect. While I'm personally a bit more drawn to the gritty and grimy aesthetic of the debut, this thing is actually darker in certain aspects, and I would have to contend that the instrumentals here are a slight improvement, as we end up receiving many of the group's most iconic and recognizable beats. Another accolade that both of these projects hold is the fact that they charted and stayed on the Billboard Top 200 for a commendable period of time, which wasn't especially common for dirty, grimy, and underground boom bap of this nature, especially considering how they were a fresh collective on the scene at the time. And it wasn't like they had any massive poppy commercial single to coast off of. I think a lot of that success can be attributed to how much chemistry and talent the collective had, plus the variety in vocal palettes makes every member easily identifiable. And one of my favorite MCs in the crew outside of Masta Ace is definitely Lord Digga, whose deeper register and energetic, character-filled flows makes him one of the most consistently entertaining voices on the LP. And I want to back this up by sharing some of his lines from the killer track Eastbound, which is definitely a highlight for me. Digga takes the second verse on this song, arguably even outdoing the opening section from Ace himself, where he raps, "Mics get damaged like jean suits when I get loose and jack roots for samples that make me wanna trample, maim, mutilate, dismember, dismantle. What's my handle? Digga from the bush. And please don't push, I'm on the edge, look at what took many years for hell to cook. I'm coming for you, so you better read your good book. From front to back, cause when I attack, you be lying on the ground with your fucking head cracked. You shoulda stopped rolling dice, brothers know I'm nice, I've been that way for life. Catch wreck at the show and then on your wife. So rappers look out, here we come. It's the INC, y'all don't really want none." I absolutely adore the sinister instrumental that accompanies that track, but of course with a group named Masta Ace Incorporated, I have to share some bars from Masta Ace himself, and even though he has countless dope performances throughout Sittin' on Chrome, definitely the most influential and memorable comes from the song Born to Roll, where honestly you could argue this is one of the best verses Ace ever laid down, because it's just so endlessly quotable and ahead of its time. The weird thing is we actually got a version of this song on the debut, and once I thought about it, I realized I already shared this verse through my review for that classic, but while it's a bit of a cheap move, I think I still want to reiterate some of this game-changing verse, just in case you happen to miss that video. This is just one of those tracks I feel is pretty much mandatory for every hip-hop head to be at least somewhat familiar with, and he kicks off these top-tier bars with "Brainiac dum-dums bust the scientifical approach to the course and the force is centrifugal. Can you find your way through the lyrics that be catching 'em? Throw another rhyme across the room, they be fetching 'em. And they take a loss to the master and I. Throws crazy blows and they knows I be plasterin'. All across the room on the ceilings and the walls too. Punk little suckers didn't know I had the gall to. come around they block with my cock diesel system and turn it up to 10 and then start to diss them, and they didn't want a battle. If they did when they saw me, they opened up the trunk, but they tried to ignore me. The stellar, gritty production here is handled by a mix of in-house names and close affiliates, including Blues Brothers, Louis Vega, Unique, as well as Masta Ace himself. And while there's only one guest appearance here, it comes in the form of a super talented and underrated duo that I've actually covered on the page, that being Cellar Dwellers. When it comes to my honorable mentions for Sittin' on Chrome, I narrowed them down to songs like People in My Hood, Turn It Up, the title track, You Can't Find Me, Terror, The Answer, Bored of Mind, Born to Roll, and What's Going On. Then for my overall top 3 favorites, I think I would ultimately have to go with the B-side, Eastbound, and the INC Ride. Thank you for watching my 347th video. Next up, we have another familiar act that defined 90s boom bap, so check in for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what songs you play the most from this New York landmark. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.